Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday Thoughts. Casey and Jessica back with you today. We are talking about a really exciting topic. Is it realistic to put your autoimmune disease in remission? Is it realistic to feel better? And the answer is yes. I'm just going to spoil alert you here. It's yes. So we'll be talking more in depth about that today, and then some testimonials on what we've seen with our clients and family members and people who've done either our program or just what we teach, put their autoimmune disease in remission. So to start with, we'll just introduce ourselves first. So my name is Casey Kephart. I am the founder of Nutrition with Casey. I host the Facebook group Nutrition for Women with Autoimmune Disease, and I work with all women with all different types of autoimmune diseases, not just specifically arthritis like Jessica does. And I live in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I'm a functional medicine nutritionist. All right, Jessica.
Thanks, Casey. I'm Jessica Melnick. I am the founder of the Anti-Arthritis Method, the host of the Happy Joints Arthritis Solutions Group, and I am a registered holistic nutritionist, and I am in Saskatchewan, Canada, where it is very cold this time of year. So that is me.
Thank you. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about where you're at now and where you can be. So I find that it's really hard for myself, I find, and for everybody who we work with too, it's hard to be in the mindset that you can feel better, just because this journey of autoimmune disease takes forever. I mean, not forever, but it's a long journey. And I want to say forever because the autoimmune disease starts maybe when you're young, maybe when you're mid-20s, maybe when you're 40, whenever it starts. But then you have this 5-year period, it seems like, finding a doctor that knows what the hell is going on, right? They tell you you're crazy. They throw pills at you. They tell you to do nothing, like whatever it is. And then you finally find that right doctor. And for Jessica and I, it was a more functional medicine, holistic practitioner. And they did some labs that the other doctors didn't do, and they finally found what was going on. So that took about 5 years, usually for people average 5 years. And then it's the journey of figuring out what works with your body, how we put it in remission, and finding somebody who really knows what they're doing after that. And that's with lifestyle, and that's with food. So you need to approach it from two different ends. So now we're maybe at this 7-year mark, and that's a hell of a journey. And in that 7-year mark, we're thinking, am I ever going to feel better? Am I ever going to get rid of this bloating, this joint pain, am I ever going to run with my kids again or be able to sit for 5 hours while they're at soccer practice and without going to the bathroom? And like everything that you're experiencing, you're like, when am I going to get rid of it? And so you can lose track of that. So we want to talk about how it's important to get in remission, and just reminding you that it is, I lost my word. Thank you. Possible. Easy word. That it is possible to do it. So Jessica, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I know in the case with arthritis, because it is, very specifically joint pain, it's kind of like the main symptom. It's like a very obvious symptom. Sometimes we might get diagnosed sooner, but it also depends on how long we have to wait to see like a rheumatologist and a specialist and all that kind of stuff. So it can be really frustrating at the beginning just to, get the proper testing done, get to see the right doctors. And it can also be really frustrating. I know for a lot of my clients that I talk to, being given a whole bunch of medications and being told that there's not really much else that you can do except finding the medication that works for you and like waiting for it to kick in and maybe adjusting it over time. And it's not ideal for everybody. And it's a process of finding what works for you. And I know a lot of people, well, especially with my clients I talk to, most of them do not want to be on medication, or at least not all medications forever. They want a longer term solution, because with medication, there is side effects. There's risks for other illnesses that can come up from taking those medications themselves. And so they want a different option. And when you do the other road and you do like a holistic option where you are working to put your autoimmune condition and your arthritis into remission, or at least significantly reduce your symptoms and keep them at bay, it is a process. And I always say, like, I'm never going to sugarcoat it and tell you that it's easy. Like, it's a simple process, but it's challenging and it's not easy. And it takes time to make those changes and to stick with them. And there's often a lot of back and forth in terms of, you're on plan and then you kind of go off plan, and then you have to kind of bring yourself back to the plan, and there's back and forth. And I always tell my clients too, like, how I eat now and how I look after myself now has changed so much over the last even 2 years of my life. So it's a process that continues to evolve.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey, but you can get off the medication. You can feel better. You can feel 100% if you work hard at it. It's going to take time, consistency, dedication, and strictness, if that's a word. So how we approach and guide you to get to remission, both Jessica and I, is we approach it from a diet standpoint, because nutrition heals. You need to heal that gut. You need to put out the fire in your body, which is the inflammation. And then we approach it from the lifestyle half as well. So you can't have a toxic and unhealthy lifestyle and heal your autoimmune disease. So we're getting rid of the toxins. We're getting rid of your toxic relationships, or at least talking about them. And we're helping your mindset. And we are talking about how to detox things out of your body. All the lifestyle things that don't have to do with food, we're also talking about it. Because if you do one thing without the other, remission is not possible. Anything else to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I like to kind of think of an example. I had a client tell me that she's like, you know what? I took your advice because I know we're all busy, and I work with a lot of really ambitious and hardworking women and that have really busy lives. And she said, I listened to you. You said, I just need to take even 10 minutes a day to do something for myself and to just chill out and like let that be okay, and not like to do that without guilt, and just to take that time for myself. And she said it made such a huge difference in her stress level. It's so important to take care of ourselves. And I think as women, the way that we are, the way that we're socialized is to look after everybody else before ourselves. And that is like a perfect disaster. It's a perfect example of what not to do in terms of getting yourself healthy, because you can't neglect your needs and get healthy.
Yeah. Essentially, if you're neglecting your needs because you're taking care of somebody else, eventually you're going to neglect their needs because you'll be in the hospital sick and not able to do anything. So it's really, if you look at it in a different way, in a different light, it's selfish if you don't take care of yourself, because then you're not going to be there for your family, your friends, for me, my volleyball team, or your cats, whatever it is. So if you don't take care of yourself, you're being selfish in that manner. And speaking of, I see my cat in the background.
Mine is off sleeping in the living room somewhere. He's so used to me being on the computer now, it doesn't even interest him anymore.
Right? What was I? Oh, I was going to also mention results. So I mentioned the timeline that it takes, some people 5 years to just diagnose, figure out what's wrong with them. But when you start to be on the right path with your eating and your lifestyle changes, and again, it's a path, it's a journey. It's not a quick pill at all, but you'll start seeing results in a good 2 weeks. They might not be major, but they're going to be noticeable. For me, it's The first thing that's always to go when I start my strict eating plan or when I was starting this whole diet was gas and bloating. That was the first thing to go for me. And that was one of my biggest symptoms still to date is always when I have a flare, the gas and bloating goes up. So there's hope, there's optimism, there's results when you're doing the right things. And to do the right things, you need to find support. You need to find accountability. You need to find somebody who knows what they're talking about. So we wanted to try to help guide you in that direction today, and also let you know that like you don't need to suffer the rest of your life just because you have an autoimmune disease and just because your doctor said that this is something that's going to last a lifetime in you. Yeah, you're going to have an autoimmune disease for the rest of your life, but you don't need to suffer from it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly. And I find too that something that breaks my heart is I meet people in my community who they're just getting resigned to the fact that they're like, oh, I'm just going to have to live with this. I'm just going to have to live with this pain and this fatigue and not sleeping and all the other things that go on along with their arthritis. And you don't have to. I think that sometimes we get really discouraged because maybe we tried a few things, or the medication only works to a certain extent and our doctors told us basically that's all you can do and it doesn't matter that much what you eat and that kind of stuff. So it's not true. And we want to bring you hope that there's so much that you can do and you can feel better. I know with my clients, I'd say average 3 to 5 weeks in the program, and they're noticing significant positive changes in how they feel. That's how quickly it can happen. And of course, sometimes there's setbacks, like when we're like reintroducing foods that we have taken out, at the beginning of the program to get the body to calm down, our immune system to calm down, our inflammation to decrease. Yeah. And so we're experimenting with bringing new foods back in once you start to feel better. And sometimes we find out, oh, that food does not agree with me. And you might feel like crap for a couple of weeks, depending on what it is. But it's just, instead of looking at it like this super negative event, it's like, well, that sucks. But now I know right now this food doesn't work for me. And I'm going to get back to where I was, get back on track, and just keep going. It's a long game, and it's not a perfect journey, and that's okay. Like overall, you're going to just feel so much better over time, and it's a process, and that's what we're here to support you through, because we know how hard it is to just do this on our own, especially if we don't have family or friends that are doing this with us. That's why our programs have that that support, that accountability, that community, so that you can have other people who understand what you're going through, that you can communicate with and talk to and enjoy group calls with, and have that connection that propels you forward.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I thought of when you said like reintroducing foods back in might cause a little bit of like turbulence. That's normal and it's expected. But another thing is when you are on this journey, say the journey that Jessica and I teach you, it's not like you can go off of it and on it and then, cheat. It's not like you have 2 cheat days a week. This is something that if you want to truly, truly get better at, and you want to truly put your autoimmune disease in remission, you have to stay diligent and focused and strict on the lifestyle and eating plan. There's no, bites of pizzas or a cheat meal, because that puts you back to day one. So it really starts with your mindset of thinking about your why in your future and how that looks like, and then relying on support so you can stay 100% on track. And we're not saying it's not easy, or we're not saying it's easy, but we're saying that it works. And we're also saying that you have a whole support system here that leads you and can guide you to 100% remission. So I know sometimes we talk about this and it sounds easy. It's just like, just eat this way and, get rid of your plastic containers. That's not it. It's the hard stuff too of staying focused and diligent.
Mhm.
And I hate to be that person that says that, but I don't want to like say this under false pretenses that it's just eat this way and have 2 cheat meals.
Yeah, and it does get easier over time. Like
Oh, hell
you're
yeah.
gonna find recipes and like substitutions for things that you love, and you're gonna find food that you like, that it's like you love and that makes you feel good. I was joking with one of my clients yesterday about how I've been eating chocolate cake for breakfast this week because that's what I want. And yeah, it's not like a conventional chocolate cake, but it's delicious. You know, it has all sorts of amazing, healthy ingredients in it, and it supports my health. And you can do that. There's so many ways to eat, and foods that you're gonna love, that you're gonna be excited to have, and that make it easy to stay on track.
Yeah, you're gonna learn a new normal for sure, and then it gets easier and easier and easier. I wanted to go back to also, we were saying, gosh, I can't remember the topic, but I hear a lot of people, oh, that you don't need to live with this forever. So a lot of people say, oh, this is just old age. And I'm like, no, this is an autoimmune disease. This is not old age. Like, I'm sure you get that a lot, Jessica, just because of the heavy joint pain, and joint pain is associated with old age, we think.
Yeah, it's not inevitable.
No, you don't need to live with it, right? It's inevitable that you're going to get old. Yes. It's inevitable you're going to get wrinkles. Yes. There's even a way to get rid of your wrinkles, so you don't need to live with that for the rest of your life either. But I digress. What I'm getting at is like, there's all these excuses of like, the doctor said I just need to live with this. This is just old age. It's just, I have 4 kids and this is how it's got to be. It is not. You do not need to feel pain forever. You don't even need to feel pain when you're on your deathbed. Like, the goal of good health and holistic nutrition is to minimize the amount of years that you are sick to when you die. And you want it to be this. And in America and probably Canada, it's like this. You're sick starting at 55, and now you die, 20 years later. And in this 20 years, you don't really live a great life. So we're trying to minimize that to this. And you can do that even with an autoimmune disease by diet and lifestyle. And we're here to help you with that. We're here to remind you of that. We are here to me fill you with tough love and encouragement, and Jessica to talk very sweetly to you because she has a little
No, we're we have that good balance.
Yeah. I'm like, it's hard, but it's worth it. And you're like, it's okay, it's fine.
Yes. And I think too, I wanted to just reiterate what you said about like, it's a new normal. It's a new way of looking at things. Like, the normal that we have in Western society, Canada, US, Australia, any other culture that eats and has a lifestyle the way that we do. We work too much. We don't sleep enough. We're too busy. We eat like garbage. We don't get enough exercise. We don't
microwave plastic containers.
Yes. Right? And we don't think anything of it. And it's like, we're trying to normalize that there's another way that we are hoping that in our lifetime is going to become normal, because this normal keeps us sick and makes us sick. And I don't want to be part of a normal that's going to make me have a really crappy quality of life. And I don't want that for my clients either.
Exactly. So I know we had some testimonials here. Jessica, do you want to say some of them?
Yeah, I think I touched on a couple of them, just with, like the general results that my clients get in the program, seeing results on average between like 3 to 5 weeks in the program. And that's amazing. Like, it's incredible. And like I said, it's not to say that you don't have any setbacks when you're reintroducing foods and you continue on in the process. It's all part of the process though, and you can get back to feeling good as well. So like I said, this is like an ongoing long-term thing. I work with my clients for 3 months very, very closely to like really get you going and get you feeling really good and give you an idea, like, so that you really know and you have all the tools that you need to put your condition into remission and to feel really, really great. So yeah, none of my clients have not had great results when they have followed the program.
Yeah.
They all get amazing results, and and they're surprised, and I love that because it just goes to show how I think disenfranchised we sometimes get, and we have this idea that we probably won't get better, or that we can't get better, or that it's just something we have to live with, and
Yeah.
you just don't. You really don't.
Yeah. And what we're teaching is things that have worked for us personally, but also thousands and thousands of people out there. Ones that we've worked with, but ones that, this is out in the open for everybody. And so many people have done it and put their autoimmune disease in remission. So it's not like we just made this up and we are just going off of what worked for both of us. This has science behind it. It is proven. I always like to refer back to my grandma because she's a badass in the nutrition world, and that my grandma is now 77 years old, and she's probably watching this right now. So hi, Grandma. But she did what we teach the first 2 years of her eating plan. And she put everything in remission. She had no more joint pain. She had no more back pain. Her Hashimoto's, or I think it was hypothyroid, evened out. Everything was good. And then she started reintroducing foods back in. You don't need to take 2 years. She did because she was feeling so well. And now she's at a modified version of the autoimmune protocol. And she does yoga. She takes walks. She is healthy. She's on no medications. She gets good sleep. And she's 77 years old. Think about your mom or your grandma at 77 years old. Were they that healthy? Are they healthy? What are they doing for their health? It's just incredible if you can be diligent with your eating and your lifestyle and your mental health, everything that goes along with it, how great you can feel even when you are at an older age as well.
Yes.
It's proven.
Absolutely. Because really, quality of life is so important.
Yeah, it is. We don't want to just sit down and feel depressed and no energy, and we want to make money. We want to hang out with our kids or cats for Jessica and I.
We want to go hiking and traveling and have experiences and have energy and joy and
Yeah. I keep reverting back to cats, but as you can tell, I know what my priorities are in life is to give my cats a good life. But
yeah, exactly. I always used to tell my cats when I was leaving for work in the morning, I used to say to Rocky, I'm going to go earn your crunchies.
Yes. I think I digress with all of this. I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse now, trying to remind you that there is hope out there and we have a source of the hope for you. So if you want to know more about that, please come and talk to us. Please ask us questions about what we're doing to help all of you. And just as you lay your head on your pillow tonight, have some hope that you can get out of the pain that you're feeling right now.
Absolutely. Mic drop.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go play with my cats now. And we will see you all next Tuesday. Everybody who's in the gluten-free challenge, we will see you tomorrow in the private Facebook group. All right.
Absolutely. Take care, everyone.